Today Show. I am Julie McCormick, and today we are discussing integration in public schools by interviewing a friend of the Little Rock Nine. The 1954 Supreme Court declared segregation unconstitutional by trial Brown versus Board of Education. All public schools were instructed to integrate. Within a week of that announcement, Arkansas was one of two states in the South announced that they were taking steps to comply new ruling. With that being said, Thelma Motherson, Melba Matilla, Ernest Green, Elizabeth Eckford, Jefferson Thomas, Terrence Roberts, Carlita Wallace, Minnie Jane Brown, and Gloria Ray, who were 9 black students who enrolled at Central High School, which is an all-white school in Little Rock, Arkansas. By 1957, universities and school boards had desegregated except public high schools. Joining me today is Susie Manchester, a close friend of one of the 9 African-American students, Gloria Ray. Hey Susie, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Julie?
I'm doing well. Are you ready to discuss the Brown versus Board of Education trial?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Let's get to it.
Okay. What was the campus like the first day that the 9 African Americans walked to the front door in Central High School?
The campus was very crazy. There was 1,200 federal troops of the 101st Airborne Division and 10,000 National Guards Eisenhower had sent in for that day. There was mobs of angry whites and reporters all around.
Did segregation stop after the Brown versus Board of Education trial?
In some ways it helped segregation, but in other ways it made it worse. Like the first 2 years, university and school boards started accepting blacks, but in public high schools like mine, it made it worse and caused a lot of conflict. The main one being the acceptance of the 9 black.
How were the students welcomed?
They were welcomed very disrespectfully. The crowd verbally chastised them, and they had many things thrown on them, like rocks, acid, feces, and many other things.
What do you think about integration in public schools?
I think it is a positive thing in our society, and it has affected us in many ways from different perspectives and made us open our eyes to what it should be like in our country as Americans. It's disgusting to me that I once judged someone by their color because I thought I was better than them.
Do you think public schools should be integrated or segregated, and why?
I think all schools should be integrated because we need to be equal to one another. We need to prove that segregation is not the answer in any circumstances.
Did whites get punished for bad treatment towards African Americans?
It was very rare that the whites got punished for not following integration. The punishment was nothing like the way African Americans were punished for going against segregation.
Do you think whites should get punished for treating African Americans unfairly?
Yes, in my opinion, the people of my own town, even my own neighbors, I wish they still to this day could have got punished for that day and the way they acted at that school. The way they treated the blacks, and not even just that day. In my opinion, if they ever even threw something or said harsh words to them, they should be punished and treated the same exact way.
How did you and Gloria Ray become friends?
We had a history class together, and we were put in partners to work on a project. We started conversating throughout the semester. I began to understand the way it was for her and other African Americans and the way she felt. I accepted her for who she was and not judge her based on the color of her skin. And in the end, we ended up being really close friends.
How was your relationship with Gloria Ray?
Our friendship was the same friendship like any other friendship. We knew basically everything about each other. We did not let anyone's input affect our friendship, and we were there for one another. In some ways, I became like an older sister. I was always there and protected her from anybody that was always harassing her or saying bad things about her. I was there to stand up for her.
Did y'all's families agree with you and Gloria's friendship?
If anything, my family was more understanding than hers. Her family was beginning to believe all whites were the same as the ones that had harassed them their whole life and even tried to make her stop hanging around with me. But in the end, her family understood I was different. My family was accepting and thought it was good for me to understand different points of view.
Did any of the other 9 students have a close relationship like you and Gloria's?
Yes, in the end, I would say they probably all had at least one really close friend. I became good friends with them all, and in the end, I still keep in touch, just nowhere near as much as with Gloria. All 9 of those students changed my life with their amazing personalities.
Did people in your town agree with you and Gloria's relationship?
There were many people who did not agree with me and Gloria's relationship. People told us it was not looked upon. Some told us we should only have friends of the same color. Many were skeptical of our close relationship and didn't believe it was right, but we did not care what others thought or had to say.
Witness harsh things said or done to your African American friend?
Yes, many times. Even her doing the simplest thing like buying groceries, and a man wouldn't check her out. People would yell very harsh things at her, but she always stayed calm, so calm, and ignored it. Sometimes people would even yell mean stuff at me, and I was just hanging out with her.
Do you really think she was calm?
Inside, I think it hurt her, but on the outside, she didn't let it show.
And what was your reaction to people doing these harsh things to her?
At first, it caught me off guard, and I was very mad, but I didn't know how to react. In the end, I just became used to it, because there was nothing I could do about it, and I tried my best to stand up for her as much as I could.
Did you see Gloria as any other person?
Yes, I treated her equally. Her skin color did not faze me. I did not treat her different because others treated African Americans different. I appreciated having a friend like her. Basically, I'm treating her just like I am treating you right now. Students, which no one exactly knew how to react to.
Were African Americans treated fairly after the trial?
They were still treated like they were unequal to whites, but some people like me and my family understood where they were coming from and accepted them even more. But it made others even madder and treated African Americans even worse than before.
Well, I think this is it for today. Thank you for coming in today and sharing your viewpoints on an important topic in today's society. Hope to see you again.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. It was nice seeing you.
Anytime.